All right, everybody, we back with another episode of the Wealth for the Culture show. It's gonna be a dope episode because I don't even know how she do it, but I got a henna artist, a henna tattoo artist, which I don't know too much about, so it's kind of cool. I get to learn about this. I didn't even know this is like a
hmm
legit, like real
It's okay.
business type thing. So, and you out here doing it super big, especially when I look through your page. I'm like, man, she going crazy. So, like, for
Yeah,
anybody that may not know who you are, because I got people that listen. It's weird. I got people that listen all over. So, I mean, I know you mobile, so you kind of a little bit everywhere. But anybody that don't know who
everywhere.
you are, can you kind of just introduce yourself, give you a little background about you and what you do?
Of course. Okay, so my name is Malyah. Everybody calls me the Henna Goddess. I own Houston Mobile Henna. So actually, there wasn't like a huge market for henna in general before it became like a really big thing because I was like, this, oh, we're going big or going home. That's that.
Yeah.
So I I was like, everybody's gonna know about this. So I understand when you say like you didn't even know this was a thing. I made it a thing. This is a thing.
Hey, that's what's up. Hey, that's the crazy. Hey, that's the crazy part because a lot of people, people turn anything into a business. Be good at it, and you can monetize. So I definitely think that's
For
dope
sure.
that you definitely got into this realm and you took it and made it your own. And now,
Yeah.
honestly, you're the only person I know that that's as big as and when it comes to this. Because I tried to listen, I was like, let me go just see if anybody else out here really doing something. Like that's what I did the last couple of
Right.
days, and I didn't really see nobody. And I'm seeing you over here working with like Erykah Badu and Kehlani, like you
hmm
working with all type of people. So I'm like, oh dang! And then I'm looking at your stuff. That's why I was asking you when I texted you. I was like, how you even do like how you even come up with this stuff? I mean, I know a lot of the tattoo, like actual like the real tattoos. I know they have like the little
Right.
stencils and all of that. And I was just looking at your stuff. I'm like, no, you doing like whole like this. Your stuff look legit like some real tattoos. And I'm
Uh-huh.
just sitting there like,
Uh-huh.
I say, so you got stuff going around the bodies and everything. I'm just like, dang. So I know my mom. I know she
hmm
told me about you. I know she used to get all that stuff, and I'm just like looking like, all right. I mean, it's cool, Like I mean,
Your
it's a
mom
tattoo
comes
to
to
me.
me every month.
Yeah, I was looking. I was like, oh, okay. This ain't. I mean, this look cool. I mean, and she over here made a business out of it, so I can't even trip. But
Right.
for those people that don't know, like, what is henna?
Okay, so henna is the way I do henna is it's a plant based and fruit based just a paste that you put on your skin. So I put pretty designs on you or whatever you would want, like as a tattoo before you actually get it tattooed. That's why I always encourage people who get like face tattoos, like get it in henna first and walk around with that and see if you really want that.
Mm,
Um, so it lasts. The black lasts about 2 to 3 weeks, and the red lasts about a good 5 to 7 days. So you get that in between, like, do you want it a long time or do you not want it a long time? So everything about henna is amazing. Um, Once you start getting it, you really understand that this becomes like one of your accessories. It's like putting on your ring or putting on your watch, but it's cooler. Nobody else has
right.
it.
That's dope. So, all right. So I like to do research on stuff, so I don't be coming in
hmm
blindside and stuff.
hmm
Okay, is this safe? Because I mean, I see some people like
Yeah.
I know for sure yours is safe because I mean my mom does it and stuff like that, and I've seen
hmm
like who you work with. But I just like
Right.
I think I see something about I don't
It's
know
a
what it's
lot
called
of
like a
things.
I think I see something like a jaguar or jag something leaf or something like that. What is that?
Okay, so I love that you did your history and you looked up some stuff because nobody ever asked that in interviews. Um, so a lot of people use black henna and it actually has dyes in it. So the dyes are not supposed to be on your skin.
Yeah.
So they'll put hair dye in the natural red to make it black. It's a cheaper way of doing it, but it's definitely it's not safe. It's not safe. But the one I use is called Jaguar, and it actually is it's fruit based. So you put essential oils in it, and it's really good for your skin, so it naturally stains your dead skin. But with that being said, that's the safest way you can ever do henna is either using the plant based or the fruit based. Just no chemicals, no bad stuff. Now, people can have allergic reactions to it if they're allergic to the fruit or the plant
Mm.
or any of the essential oils. But everybody is not everybody's allergic to dyes on your skin.
Yeah.
So when they put dyes on the skin, that's when it becomes like an issue.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm glad you cleared that because I was so confused. I was looking like, what is this leaf? Like I kept seeing something about a leaf, and then I kept seeing other people have like these reactions to it. I'm like, okay, like, is this even
Yes,
safe?
I've seen a lot of them. You talking about the news one where the little boy was on the news and everything?
Yeah, I seen something where he like had this whole like his skin was all bubbling up and stuff, and I was just like, what the heck?
Yeah, that happens.
So my question is, how did you get into henna? Like, what even sparked that?
Okay, so my story is okay. We're friends now, so I can tell you my story. So I ended up, yeah, I ended up. So it wasn't that I woke up one day and was like, "Oh, I want to be a henna artist." I didn't even draw. I didn't. I was not a doodler. I was in art classes. They used to look at me like I was crazy. They would never put my stuff on the wall. They would just be like, "Oh, she completed it. Okay, yeah, that's cool." When I tell you, any artsy thing I did was makeup. That was the only thing that I did that was like any kind of artsy, and even then, it was just blending. So it wasn't that I was just like drawing anything. So I remember about 4.5 years ago, this guy I knew for about 8 years ended up stealing all my money. I trusted him too much, and he ended up stealing everything. And I remember just being like, "Okay, God, like me and God, we was here. Like I prayed before I ate, but I didn't. I wasn't where I am now." I remember just being like, I just literally just prayed, and I was like, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing, but clearly not doing what I'm supposed to be doing right now. So
Mm-hmm.
I remember just saying, like I take all these negative and evil people away. I only want positivity. I only want peace. I want to do whatever you have me doing. So I was in school for engineering. I was a junior in school doing makeup, working at a hookah lounge. I was doing so much, but I remember being so sad. It felt like everything was done. Like all my money was gone, so I was just like when you get really sad, and so it
Yeah.
just feels like it's like one of those like you in between sleep, but you really awake. So I went downstairs and I was talking to my sister, and she was a singer. She was going on tour, and she's a singer songwriter. So she was literally like ready to go. I think she was going to like Bermuda or something. And I remember telling her, "Okay, so I'm sad, and I don't know what to do." She was like, "Well, I want to get my henna done," and I was like, "Okay, so that had nothing to do with me being sad." But she was like, I was like, "Well, go get your henna done." Like, so she was like, "No, but I feel like you can do it." And I was like, I don't even know where this is coming from, but I was like, "Okay, well, I'm a little sister, so I'm gonna figure it out." So I remember me and my boo were driving, and I was just calling all over the place, and I was like, "Well, where am I gonna find some henna?" I don't even know. Like, I think I got mine done when I was a kid once, so I was like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know where to find this. So I ended up finding some at a market. And now I know it was chemically based, but I didn't know that then because I didn't know the difference. So I ended up going, finding like a whole box of henna. My last little money I had, I told you I was broke. I was broke.
Hey.
So I ended up getting some henna, and I ended up doing mine in the car. And I remember looking at it, and I was just like, "This is a mess. I want this off my hand." Everybody thinks I'm gonna say it was great, it was wonderful. Then Houston Mobile Henna happened. No, I remember literally it was terrible. And going home and showing her, and I was like, she was
Mm.
like, "I love it. I love it.
Hey.
Do mine." And I said, "Okay." So I ended up doing hers. Sat there a little bit longer than I did mine. Did hers. She loved it. I was like, "Okay, whatever." I still didn't think I was a henna artist. It wasn't like, "Oh,
Yeah.
that's what I'm gonna do." None of that. I remember is this I mean, God is so good because the way this worked out was literally it was crazy because this promoter ended up calling me and was like, "Hey, I want you to come to my club and do makeup." I was like, "Nobody's getting makeup done at the club. Everybody's telling me
Yeah.
club ready. There's no way I'm doing it." And he was like, "Okay, well, all right. I guess I was a little aggressive. It's cool, whatever." So I ended up telling him, I was like, "Can I do some henna instead?" And he was like, "What is that?" Just like anybody would say that. I barely knew what henna was. So I was just like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, I'm gonna get it popping, don't worry, I'm gonna come up I'm gonna come up there
Hey,
and do my
make it
thing."
work.
When I tell you, literally, I sat there with a table and two chairs, nothing to show anybody because all I had was a little sticks on my hand. My sisters, she didn't come, so I had nothing to show anybody. But I had my henna cones, and when I tell you, I was just like, God, whoever is supposed to come, just have them come. Anybody negative or evil, even if they bring $1,000,000, I don't want them. I said, if they mean me wrong, I don't want them. So when I tell you, I kid you not, it was literally they were lining up to get this henna. And I was
Hey,
like,
that's dope.
okay, okay, all right. So literally right after that, I ended up making double what I lost that weekend. And that's how I knew that this was supposed to be a thing because I was like, okay, I just made double what I lost. What am I supposed to do now? So that Sunday, I ended up making Houston Mobile Henna. I didn't have a car. I didn't have a license to place together everything I needed. Like I felt like told my business. Houston, I was in Houston. I was gonna be mobile. I wasn't mobile at that time, but I was gonna be mobile. And I did henna. So that's what I made. And when I tell you literally I had jokingly hit up Jhene Aiko, one of my favorite singers, that Sunday. And when I tell you she literally messaged me back 10 minutes later and I
Hey,
was
that's
like,
dope.
I said, what? What? I look back to see what I said to her to see like what made me say what I said, and all I said was let's book something, and she was like, yeah, can you come to my hotel? What? I only had me and my mom following on Instagram and the few pictures I had from the club the day before. So I don't know how she trusted me, but I love it. I think it's all glory to God. In my first year, I did all my favorite singers. Anybody I wanted to do. That's when I did Erykah Badu. She had called me. Um, Kehlani, Ella May was in the same day as Kehlani. It was crazy. I was like everybody I was listening to, I was doing. So that's
Hey,
what started
that
me to go business.
hey, that's gotta be the dope. Hey, that's dope as hell. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, but this just like let's hold on for a second, man. Let's just take a second because you said you did. You just kind of. This is what I'll be telling people though. Like you just took a chance on yourself. You ain't
Mm-hmm.
had nothing. You just like I'm gonna just figure it out. And like you said, you ain't had no car. You made yourself a mobile. You ain't had no car. You ain't had nothing. Like you was on your last, and that's what I like so much about like what you're saying right now. Because a lot of people think like you just gotta have it all figured out when you start, and then that's what
Mm-hmm.
keep them from even getting going. So I
Mm-hmm.
just want to salute you for one because that's the dopest. Like I talk to a lot of people, but I talk to a lot of people and stuff. But that this got to be like one of the like my top one right now because like I can relate. Like a lot of people don't understand how hard it is. Like when you ain't got nothing, like, we
Right.
just got to kind of just figure it out. So that's just so dope to me that you was able to do that. And on top of that, like not only did you do that, you was able to like people work years to try to work with like big time celebrities and stuff like that. You was able to do that stuff off the rip and not even like
You
you
set your
like
spot. It's there.
but that and all it started with was because you just had the confidence to just ask and like and put yourself out
Yep.
there, and that's what and a lot of people they're afraid to even do that, and that's one thing I learned just from doing this show. Like a lot of people willing to just like work with you and stuff like that. You just got to be willing to ask because if you don't reach out, then hey, they don't even know who you are. So I
Right.
just definitely want to applaud you for that because that to
Thank
me is
you.
that's the craziest thing. Like, cause I thought it was a little bit more too. Like, I thought you had like a plan and stuff going into this. Like, you
Nope.
just did this. Just like I'm gonna just try it out, see what happens.
Yep.
So, so I guess okay, this is perfect because a lot of times people try to like. I'm gonna say you did most of this like on your own, but like, did you have any help along the way, kind of like growing the business and trying to figure it out? Like, did you have anybody discourage you, stuff like that?
Yeah, okay, so there's several times like, I had my makeup business, but it was totally different. Like when I tell you I had gave up I think my first or second year, even after I did my favorite singers, it was more like I just didn't I was confused. So I had my fiance and my sister and my mom and my dad. Like every time I literally was just like, no, I'm done. They was like, no, you're not. What are you doing? And my sister has been the one that's like, how you want somebody to tell you like you did good. She has always been that person like, yeah, I'm proud of you. But look, what's next? We're gonna do this. I'm like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
all right. Yeah, that's what you need on your team. You need somebody who's gonna be like, yeah, congratulations. But next time, let's make sure you have this in order. Let's have this in order so that next time you don't have to go through this. You see what I'm saying? So when I mean, it was literally my family that kept me going. Now with the business of doing henna, like actually doing the henna, I mean, it's all glory to God because I look at stuff and I step back and be like, oh, I did that. That's pretty. I'm like, oh, that's cute. When I tell you coming from, it's like waking up and now you can cut hair. Like, I don't know if you cut hair, but like, you've never cut hair before. You never thought about cutting hair, but now everybody wants you to do, and all your favorite singers are wanting you to cut their hair, and now it's becoming a thing, and you're all over TV and all over the stuff. Like it literally became that, and you just have to be in it and have confidence in yourself that no, this is supposed to happen. This is what you need to do. No, this is right. It gets scary when everything is going your way. You're like, what?
Oh,
Okay,
but
I guess.
yeah, and it make you rise to the occasion. I like how you mentioned like your sister though, because like a lot of people like they get caught up in that moment, and that's kind of just like
Mhm.
okay, that's it. Like your sister kind of just push you like, all right, you got it figured out. Like okay, we know you're good at this, so now let's get you like a plan together. Let's figure this out. Let's figure it out. Like she was kind of trying to like she wasn't like
Mhm.
talking down on you. She was just trying to encourage you to figure out like how to
Yeah,
improve and get better. And
right.
that's a lot of times what people need. Like a lot of people get like they want to say like people are. I know a lot of people run into like situations where it's like they think people are trying to like discourage them along the way just because they're trying to give them some constructive
Hmm.
criticism and stuff, and they'll
Right.
take that to heart instead of just taking it as like an opportunity
Mhm.
to like get better and improve on what they're doing. So I
Right.
just definitely want to shout out your family because that's big. Like a lot of people, you know, they start doing something, and the first people that like say like talk down on us is they feel like they think they can't do it because they just don't have a certain mindset
Yes.
to be encouraging
Yes.
about that. So that's big, like that you
Exactly.
even had the support. I mean, you ain't that's still crazy. Like you ain't have like you
But
said you ain't
I
have
give credit
nothing.
where credit is due because it's like, okay, it's like you were, God forbid, you were homeless and you didn't have anything. And then now people are just like, oh, here you go. Let me place you here in this apartment. I pay for everything. I put food in there. It's just like, whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, I want this, but what is going on? Like, okay, I'm not used to this, you know? So when I do believe that when I found God, that's when everything I found my peace. I found um that what I'm supposed to do. Literally, I can't make it up because I didn't. People literally like are like studying for years to become even a henna artist. They study art. They go into this. They do this. Like I've seen people who like have done henna for 30 years have messaged me and was like, I want to be on your team. Ma'am, hi. I just turned 25, so that means you've been doing henna before I was
Yep.
born, and you want to be on my brand? I'm like,
Hey, hey, but that just go to show that just go to show you doing something right though. That's what that means. That's all it means. Like you doing something right, and you got it. And you got to figure it out because I think this is the crazy. I still can't like. I did not know this was a real thing. And like I say,
show
you
me.
might have just been
I hope so.
you might have set the like you might have just set the standard and made this what it is now. Because
Mhm.
before I hearing about you, like my mom and stuff, I was just like okay, like I didn't even know people did that. Like I'm
Right.
like, you pay for this? She's like, yeah. I
It,
was like,
right.
and
Right.
I was like, dang, I was like, that's crazy. And honestly,
Yeah.
as many people as I see you do, I know you be bringing that money, and you mobile, so I know you could you charge for that. Like, yeah, like,
Thank you.
I,
Thank you. Thank you.
th- that's just crazy because it's
But
just like,
yeah, yeah. I mean, the money is great. But also, I told you, like, God was setting me up for this because I literally made double what I lost the same day I started doing henna. So it was more. I could have just stopped right there and been like, I got my money. I'm done. No,
yep,
no, no, no. I had to keep going. And when I started realizing the purpose for it, yeah, the glitz and the glam, the celebrities, that's cool, whatever. But then I found out that women had a different issue. Even men, men want henna too. But women had scars. Women had things that they felt uncomfortable with wearing, the things they wanted to wear. So I cover those things up. So when you see these big pieces, yeah, they're beautiful, but they're also hiding some scars, or they're camouflaging some things. You say you had a tattoo you didn't really, really, really want, and you ready to cover that up. but you don't want to go through the pain again. That's what I feel like is more valuable than money. In all honesty.
Hey, honestly, like I'm like listening to you speak, right? And it's just like a lot of people. I talk about this like a lot of people they don't understand because I have a whole other show I do with some of my boys, and a lot of people don't understand like what their purpose is and stuff. And they don't, you know, you spend a lot of time trying to like wonder like what am I here for? Like what God got me here for? Like
Mhm.
it's got to be something bigger than what I'm doing. And like to me, like personally, it just seemed like yeah, you're doing henna, but you found like something bigger than that. Like you found your purpose to me. That's what
Right.
it sounded like to me. Like, and that's the dope thing about this because a lot of times people get on these journeys and they don't really know what's going to come of it. And to me, it's, I always tell people like if it's meant to be, it'll be. It'll happen the way it's supposed to happen. It'll play out the way it's supposed to happen.
Absolutely.
And it's for like that's why I like talking to people now, like because like I get to see like for you. It just everything worked out like the way it was supposed to happen. Because if it wasn't supposed to work out, like it wouldn't have worked out this way. Like everything, like you talk about you on
Right.
your last, you don't have much. You just trying to figure it out, and every step of the way, another piece fell into place, and that's big
Mm-hmm.
to me. And like that's what people don't understand. Like a lot of people they get so discouraged, and that's why shoot. Like now, I just got somebody else. I'll be like, well, look at this story right here, because
Right.
she literally, she just she just took the baton and ran with it. She didn't have no
Yeah.
like she didn't have it all figured out. Like that's okay, and that's to me
Mm-hmm.
like the biggest thing.
Yeah.
And
We in my studio right now. I'm literally in my studio, and I got my studio last. It's about to make a year because Valentine's Day is down the street. And when I tell you, I literally was here for Valentine's Day. I did a pop up shop with one of the ladies here, and literally right after that, that's when they were like, "No, we want you here." And I was like, "I kind of want to be here, but it doesn't make sense because I'm Houston Mobile Henna. I was doing henna at Starbucks. This is how amazing God is. That literally I was doing henna at Starbucks because even though I was Houston Mobile Henna and did all that extra stuff, you would still meet me at Starbucks because why not? So I was doing that, or I was coming to your house. When I tell you, I got here in Valentine's Day. Well, the week or two after Valentine's Day, and then that's when Corona hit. The week after, I had did your mom's dinner a week before Corona hit. And when I tell you, I barely had anything in here, but I just was trying to figure out, God, why do you have me in here? I'm just a mobile dinner. I don't need this extra expense. I don't understand it. But when I tell you, Corona hit, and I couldn't go to Starbucks because they took all the seats from Starbucks. I didn't want to go into nobody's house because I didn't know what was going on. Like
mm,
sicknesses was everywhere. Then I had this place that I could social distance, do my hennas, and then they leave, then I leave. So when I tell you it's crazy, like I got my name on the little on the window. So you have to appreciate every step. Every step. Like even when you didn't think it was gonna be here, you're gonna get there if it's supposed to be. So that's huge. That's huge. Especially when you
right.
don't have anything to look up to, like, oh, I haven't passed by somewhere that has just a henna shop or, that I was able to look at. But we make our own history. That's how history is
Hey,
made.
I about to say, who cares? You ain't gotta see that like at this, like if you ain't the
No.
embodiment of like you set the standard. Like that's man, this is
Yeah.
crazy. That's just dope to me because like you set the standard, and I love how you say you don't deal with none of the negativity. Like it took me a long time to figure out like you really need a lot of positive, like especially when you go like being you're like an entrepreneur and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. It take a lot. Like you already got to deal with so much like with your own self. Like you might have
Right.
so like I don't know. I don't like everybody had goes through that, but the fact that you just don't want that in your spirit, like in your like none of that around you, none of that bad negative energy. That's also real
Yeah.
big, and I don't think people realize that. So I'm glad you kind of mentioned that earlier, just talking about it, because to me that's like that could be one of the make or breaks right there.
Huge.
People don't even realize it. If you got everybody on
Right.
here just talking down on you and stuff and hating, it's just like, well, dang,
Mm-hmm.
what am I even doing this for? So, and I'm just, it's dope because you mobile, you got your own studio now. So,
Mm-hmm.
and the crazy thing is, you like it's not like this is like a little fad or something like that. Like you legit like if you can say anything like you made it through COVID, like it's something you know how many people lost their jobs during
Crazy in
COVID.
COVID too. Everybody
People,
was trying to book.
that's what I said. You lost your and on top of that, you in Texas. We already know like Texas didn't really stop. And so you was able to like you kept going. You was making money. You getting paper. You getting the bag and stuff during a time where
Mm-hmm.
people are literally trying to figure out like what am I gonna do? I don't have no job. I don't like stuff like that. So that's just like man,
It's a
that's a
blessing.
blessing, man.
It's a
Yeah, I'll tell
blessing.
you.
There's nothing but it. Yeah.
Uh, oh, this is crazy. This is man, your story
I'm
just
so
dope
glad
to
you
me,
noticed
man.
it. And I'm a
Man.
black woman. Black women are you never see a black woman doing henna, which is amazing because first of all, it started in Africa, so we've been doing everything. But a lot of things are used in other cultures. Taken moved around, and here it's more traditionalized. As you see an Indian, an Indian woman doing wedding hennas and all kinds of stuff. But as a black woman, it's amazing to be able to be like, no, your first henna was from a black woman, a young black woman, not an old Indian lady. There's nothing wrong with that. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing
No,
wrong with that.
hey, let me tell you something. This whole
But you're
platform,
changing the trajectory. You're changing the statistic of a henna artist.
I mean, that no, forget that. We gonna talk about it. Like you black, like it's fine. Ain't no hate on that. Let me tell you something. This whole platform about like shining a light on like black greatness and black wealth,
Mm-hmm.
like and all encompassing. And a lot of times, like people don't understand. Like we see so many different cultures kind of come and impede on our stuff and what we got going on and turn it into something better. Like, what's wrong with you going and coming in like you say, like traditionally, like when I think of him, I think of like Indian. So it's like when I see a
Mm-hmm.
black woman doing it, like I'm just like, okay, this is another barrier we breaking. This is another like industry we
Huge,
stepping into. Like
huge.
that's to me, like I don't even think you realize how monumental that is. And like now it's like when I think of Henna, I'm gonna be thinking of Houston Mobile Henna, Henna Goddess. That's what I'm gonna be thinking of. And it's just straight like that. And that to me is what's so dope about it, because people don't realize like a lot of people like they would be like, oh, like they would think, oh, we're talking about just henna, like, oh, this is like a lot of Indian people do this. Like, I shouldn't even be in this lane. You're like, nah, I'm gonna go make my own lane in this, and that's fine. Like, we ain't gotta like people think you gotta reinvent the wheel. Nah, you just step in that and make it better and put your own twist on it. And actually, let's talk about that
And we
because
salty anyway. Whatever we gonna get is gonna be something different anyway. We're like if we do hair, we're not just gonna do hair. We gonna do hair. You know what I mean? We're gonna do whatever industry that
exactly,
we are in. We're gonna change it up and we're gonna do it like, hey, how are they doing it? Now we're not just gonna run track. We're gonna be the fastest at track. We're not just gonna sing, but we're gonna sing. So
exactly.
it's
No
the
matter
same
what we
thing.
step
Like
into,
right. You're not gonna just see henna designs like the traditional henna designs you're gonna see a lion here, you might see a peacock here, you might see I just did Medusa. Like you never know what you're gonna see. You know what I mean? So I understand.
and speaking of designs, I was how do you come up with your like I'm literally like I was like I didn't realize how much stuff you had, like I was just like, oh, okay, because when you follow me I was like, oh, like who is that? I had this, I'm like, who is this? And I was looking, I'm like, what is all these like tags? I'm like, okay, and then I
Yeah.
started really looking through them, like, oh, looking through them all we go, like,
Mm-hmm.
and then that's when I started seeing like, okay, she doing like full body. I generalized, I thought it was just like a hand type deal because that's all I've ever seen.
It
And I'm
usually
sitting
is.
there
Yeah.
and I'm sitting here looking at you. You doing like full out, like whole body pieces. Like, how do you come up with these ideas?
So what okay, so I don't know if that's even appropriate. So my first henna, body henna was a woman in the I don't even know what the politically correct way to say this. She did she did adult videos. Okay, so she did those, and I didn't. I thought I was there. I didn't thought I was there to do her hands. It was All Star Weekend in Houston, and I ended up going to a hotel doing hers. She was naked, and I was like, "Ma'am, hi, I'm your henna artist. I don't think you know who I am. I don't know who you think I am, but I'm not that." So she was like, "No, girl, come on in." So I was like, "Okay." I felt like I was jumped into body. So I was like, "Okay." So I ended up coming in there. She was like, "No, I want you to do my whole body, do the whole thing." And then she went to sleep, and I was just like, ma'am."
What?
Okay. I was so lost. I didn't know. She was like, "Have you ever done any body pieces?" I was like, "No, I haven't." And I'm gonna be honest with you. She was like, "No, just do a bunch of stuff." And I was like, "Okay." So I ended up doing it. And I loved it because it was like a hand, but like times 10. I was like, "Oh my god, I have so much space. I can do whatever." So each design that I came up with is personalized for like there's not one of the same. Period. It's not. You might see the same kind of flower, but you're not gonna see the same design through it. So literally when I tell you every body piece, it wraps different, it does different things for different bodies. So whatever, like I never know what I'm gonna think about before I do it. I just go and do. Unless somebody brings me something that they want in particular, which is cool because a lot of people bring my same stuff. But unless they bring me something, I'm going off. I'm like, okay, you said how much space you want? You want the rim to go to the side? All right, cool. We're gonna wrap it around. We're gonna do what we do, and that's gonna be it. I just do whatever I do. That's it. You can ask your mom. Literally, she doesn't. She says just do it. Sure will, and just do whatever.
Hey, that's crazy. So you just hey, see, this is what I'm talking about. You just straight free, like that's what I'm saying, like straight freestyle. Ain't no plan when you go into it. You just do it, and that's dope because you say it's crazy because like you said like you wasn't like an artist or nothing in school or nothing like that. So to me, that's what really that's like. I think I see you like do you still teach people and stuff like that and train them and
Mm-hmm.
stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So like this is something
The
that people
classes
could
are cheap.
literally
Yeah.
like you could teach people how to do this, make their own. Like that's to me, that's like a big thing for me because I like to sell. Like my favorite saying really is like, you know, what good is success if everybody around you struggling, and for you to reach out and pull somebody up with you, and like I say, everybody. It's fine if everybody ain't successful, but like at least you taking the time to help others out because a lot of people they get to it and they get the
Mm-hmm.
money and then they just kind of forget about what's going
Right.
on around them. So I just think
Right.
that's powerful too, and I just that's dope because I honestly was like, oh, I wonder if she went to like art school or something like that. And then you were just like, nah, I
I
just
teach
like
art
I ain't
school.
like that's crazy. And you just kind of figured that out
Yeah.
and just
Mm-hmm.
start. So I think okay, the stat out is like you work with. I think the one I seen that got my attention was like I think I seen Erykah Badu work with and stuff like that. Like how is it? How was it? Because you said like for you, like the great thing is like you just kind of started off. You said Jhene Aiko, you just reached out to her and she responded. Like, how was it just working with different celebrities and like and them like so like being like oh yeah like them requesting like you said I think you said
Mm-hmm.
Erykah Badu called you and like request if you do so like how is that like how was
Listen,
that?
everything. I mean, most people have to tell me, "Oh no, that's this person," and I'm like, "Oh, okay, I didn't know." Unless I look at their page, I'm like, "Okay, they was on, I don't know, Real Housewives or something like that." I have to look it up, but like people I know, because I attract the same energy that I actually listen to. So each personality I did, it was something that I listened to. Like that was my same kind of like vibe. So I thought it was really funny that I didn't really understand that until like probably my third year. I was like, this is crazy. I would think about that person and they would call me. All right. So with Erykah Badu, she became my client. She would call me every couple of weeks, every month, because literally, I would send her jars of henna. It's more about like I don't always have to just do your henna to free to call me. So I would send her jars to Dallas, even though I still do, like, because of this whole corona thing, she hasn't been on. Every time she would go on tour, she needed her henna. So when I tell you, literally every couple of weeks, she's calling me like, "Hey, I need this," and literally she called me the first time, and she was like, "Hey, this Badu." I said, "What?" I remember being like, "Girl, what?" Okay, all right, let's keep going. And she was like, "I need you," and I was like, "I've been hearing about you, and I need you." And then it's so funny that you had messaged me, and I had messaged her before that, but she didn't see it. She just had already saw my page, called me immediately, and then saw the DM and was like, "You had just DM me?" And immediately we kicked it off, and I told her like she could tell that I just didn't want anything from her or anything. It was just like honestly, okay, what you need? Okay, cool. And every time she would come to Houston, I would come to her concerts and give her her henna or ship it off to her. But yeah, that's it. Literally,
Oh,
every
that's
time they call me, I'm
crazy.
like, okay, I'm like, okay, that's cool. You want to see a
Hey,
picture of it?
that's crazy. That's dope. Hey, that is freaking crazy. And we would
It's so
assume,
sweet.
that definitely helped building and growing your
Mhm.
brand.
Yeah, I appreciate everybody. Like anybody who gets their henna done for me in general, the support right there is real. So I treat all my clients as if they are like one of my favorite celebrities. But this was our first time meeting. She was so sweet. First of all, I told her I was like, I don't even have any makeup on. She was like, it's okay, you in artist mode. Me too. So when you just being like, don't have positive intentions. When you give out positive intentions will come back to you. So I mean, I'm not trying to get to her for cloud. I wasn't trying. I was just like, okay, whatever's supposed to happen. I'm still freaking out, so whatever. So
Hey,
whatever happens, happens.
that's dope. Like, I'm definitely gonna be. How long you been doing this? Like, how many years?
4.5 years.
Hey, that's
Yeah.
man. And you
Each
how
year
old?
tells me something different.
You say you were 25?
Mm-hmm. I just
Dang.
turned 25 in December. Yep.
Oh, so you came straight out 21 years old, just going. Gas. Man, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Y'all don't
Oh man.
sleep. Just do what you want to do. I love your podcast because I'm like, he's doing exactly what he wants to do.
Hey, it's crazy. It's been crazy. I don't even know how I got started doing this. I remember one part. I used to just try to help people because it started off. I wanted to like help the black community like learn like financial literacy and stuff. And I'm just like, well,
Right.
let's build wealth. And then I'm like, really like wealth to me like that's all encompassing. Like it's not just like I've had people come on and talk about mental health. Like it's not just like
Mm-hmm.
a money thing to me anymore. It's more just like a community type, just trying to help everybody
Mm-hmm.
out and teach them stuff and like
Mm-hmm.
just kind of give back to everybody because it's just a lot of stuff I wish I knew and like a lot of things I think we should know. Just as like the black community, we don't really like sad to say we just a lot of stuff we don't know and you
Yeah.
don't know and when you don't know what you don't know it's crazy once you start finding out stuff because like I just had to
Mm-hmm.
kind of go on this thing like by myself, because a lot of times, like our parents don't know this stuff. They wasn't taught it, so they can't pass it down
Right.
to you. Like the other folks, like I ain't gonna say like there's like other like cultures, so they had the information, they
Mm-hmm.
had that stuff readily available, and their parents teach them that. So
Right.
that's to me was big. Was trying to get back, and one thing I like to do is just bring people on because like I mean it's crazy because a lot of people just be like, yeah, I'll come on, and so I really haven't been able to do an episode by myself in a while, but it's just like I get to
I
see
love
like
it.
I like seeing other people's journeys and how they did it. Because everybody, like, you could do the same thing as somebody else to me. And, like, yeah, we all making
Mm-hmm.
money, but everybody got their own twist. Everybody had their own journey. And to me, like, that could resonate with just anybody that may tune in. And it's like, I, I just did this. I told people, I was like, yeah, because I was in Boston, like, I was just working my 9 to 5. I'm just like, like, and I was getting tired. I'm like, I mean, I still work, but I'm just trying to slowly branch out from that. And I was like, if I ever get back to Texas, I'll
Mm-hmm.
go ahead and start the podcast. I'll start like a little pod. I call it a
Yeah.
show now because I'm just like, it's a show.
It's a
And
show.
yeah, and I'll just be like, I'll just do this and I'll just see where it go. Like if I ever get back to Texas, like I wasn't thinking I was gonna be back to Texas for years. I like,
Right.
just trying to blow it off. And like a few months later, like I ended up getting a promotion, get a job out here, and I'm just like, well, there it is. I ain't got no choice. I
It's
said I was
supposed
gonna do it, so like
right.
apparently it's a sign. So I'm just like, let me go ahead and
Right.
get to it. And I just kind of just trial and error, like start off slow, like slowly growing. I mean, I got like, I'm not even 20 episodes in. I already got like 1,000 people to listen to it. So, I mean,
As
to
they
me,
should.
that like people don't think that's big, but to me, I
No,
was
that's
shocked
huge.
as I said, I was shocked when I had like one of like a few people, like 20 people listen. I was like,
Yeah.
oh man, I was getting texts and stuff like,
Very
oh,
good
this is
people.
crazy.
Yes, that's huge.
And when you start hearing like people say like, "Oh, I didn't even know that. I learned so much," and like this is like inspiration for me to go do this, and I'm just like, well, dang, like I'm just trying to see now where I could like take this. I started another one, with my boys, just kind of like all encompassing, somewhat the same, a little bit of a different twist. So I'm trying to help
Mm-hmm.
help them get started on their journey and kind of what I'm doing. I'm all over the place. I honestly, it's hard for me to stay focused. I'm trying
As
to
you
figure out
should.
I
It's
was trying to figure
okay.
out how I would do it. I mean, I just want to bring people along with the journey because I want to show people like you can do this. Like you ain't. It don't matter. Like you just got to
Mm-hmm.
get started because that's a lot of people. Like for you, had you just let your situation have you down and out, you know, and you just kind of was like the woe is me mentality. You
Right.
would have never. You wouldn't even be where you wouldn't be known as like Henna Goddess. You wouldn't be
Mm-hmm.
known as none of that. So that to me is big when I like it give me more when I talk to people that's like really like they really didn't have none because I know what it feel like. I moved out from my mom crib and stuff when I was out like in Phoenix, but I was broke. I like ain't nobody know that. So I'm not gonna let nobody
Yeah.
know that, but like it's a struggle. And when you see other people that's came from that, you can relate to them. And you know how it is. It's like, dang, like I really like. I just
Yes.
resonate with you, and it's just like this is powerful.
Right.
Like the biggest thing I want people to do, like when they listen to this, though, like when people like hear you, like people might think like, oh, I can never do that. And just to, like for you to sit here and say, I didn't know how to draw or nothing like that. I didn't know any of that.
Nothing.
Like I just started
Literally.
and you just like the key thing, you just took action. And to me, that's bigger than
Right.
anything. Like a lot of people, they get stuck like in that fear stage and doubting themselves and thinking, oh, I can't do it instead of just trying it. Not really, you just try it. If you fail, okay. To me, I call fail, first attempt in learning. It's just an acronym.
Sure. Yes.
So that to me is dope. But I ain't let me get off my rant. But like
No, it's true. That's huge because I mean, you think you're good at something. I mean, I'm gonna share my thing. I used to work at the hookah lounge. I started owning a hookah company, and I would do mobile hookah. It was great. It was wonderful. But then I was just like, this is not even for me. I stopped smoking hookah. It was just like I don't even know. I don't like this. So yes, at home I have like 40 hookahs, and definitely giving them out for Christmas. But it was just like that's not what you're supposed to do, and that's okay to not be able to do what you. I was in school for literal engineering. Not saying that couldn't happen in the future, but literally sometimes what you might want to happen might not be what needs to happen. You might be able to have put that energy into something else that could benefit other people or benefit yourself.
oh yeah, that's crazy because I went to school. I started off in school for engineering. I was doing football. I couldn't do all that. That was too much. But yeah, but that's crazy to me though, because a lot. I just
Man.
I'm just glad you like shoot reached out and just like follow me and hit my page up because that to me like I don't come across like I come across a lot of people and they're just like when you see you just see certain people like making it and doing well for themselves. I
Hmm.
don't know what it do for me. It just it's like inspiration. Even if it's not in the same thing I'm doing, it's just something like to me it's just interesting because
Yeah.
just like seeing that people can like it ain't just like a one person doing this. Like everybody can get to it now. That's the thing,
Yeah.
and you just gotta take a
That's
chance on
huge.
yourself.
Yeah, and literal, I love that you have your show on wealth because, like you said, mental health is wealth, physical health is wealth. There's so many different things that is not just monetary wealth, but spiritual wealth. I literally pray about that because it's it's huge. People think, oh, as long as I get this money, but you also, yeah, when you get this money, are you good in the head to keep this money, or are you good enough to, just make sure that you're emotionally okay, or you're physically okay, or I think it's amazing. I think it's amazing because it's all attributes go towards, especially if you're trying to be a business owner. You gotta have this stuff together. You do. I mean, not really, not when starting, but once you really pick it up, you're like, oh, I
Mm-hmm.
have to do this. Oh, okay, and I have to do this. Okay, I can't just be a henna artist. I gotta make sure my business stuff is together. Okay, I gotta get a lawyer. Okay, make sure this is okay. All right, I wasn't expecting this.
Mm-hmm.
So you just keep going. You do everything the right way, and you don't have to worry about nothing else.
I, I'm glad everything you just said, man. That just hit because I definitely know what you're talking about with all of it. Because I see now, like you just start getting busier. Then you got like I'm trying to figure out, like, okay, I'm doing this. Like it's just
Mm-hmm.
crazy, and then you got to figure
All
all that
business
out.
together. Yeah.
But I do want to say I appreciate. I got. I look. Oh, I'm about to miss out on my last little segment. I do because I'm trying to hurry up and help you get on about. Real quick, I just do like 5 questions at the end. I don't really
Mm-hmm.
have. I used to call it a lightning round. I don't have no name for it no more because it's never a lightning round. It always people gonna go into their own detail.
I
But
get it.
just real quick, like I would just run off 5 questions if you just want to answer them.
Mm-hmm.
So I like to kind of highlight, like whoever I talk to, I like to have them highlight a black person on their timeline, whether it's Instagram or Twitter or whatever that stands out to them.
Mm-hmm.
You could just kind of name somebody time like a black person on your timeline that stands out to you.
A black person? Everybody's black on my timeline. Okay, wait. Okay. I love everybody. Okay, so definitely big shout out. I told you my sister. She's huge. She also is an author. Hers is I am Assad, Syasad. I am Side. There's also Anonymous Wings, great wings. But I'm actually vegan now, so they offered vegan wings too. Um, Everything vegan is amazing. Um,
I mean, you go, yeah, that's cool.
There's so many like amazing black people, and I love each and every, and I follow so many people. So like my head is literally everywhere. It's like everybody, just say everybody's name.
Mhm. So I like to get like a book recommendation from everybody. Like it don't have to be necessarily like a business book or nothing. Like it could be any kind of book. Like you got a book
Mhm.
recommendation?
Yes, I do. I told you my sister is an author. It's saying yes to no. So the art of saying yes to no. And when I tell you that's huge, and I didn't even understand that, um, the art of literally saying yes to saying no. Like it's okay to say no. I'm good. You don't have to say yes to everything. You don't have to because you have that choice. And that was a big thing for me for my little big old heart. I was just like, yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. No, it's okay to be like, no, I'm uncomfortable and I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So saying yes to no. Um, I just read a book. I think it was called, um, oh, don't get me wrong. It was like distractions, basically like how to get over distractions. And it was recommended by one of the ladies here. And it was a really good book. It was a guy about like he was in the army, but he gives you like his oh the lady just passed by too. Um literally he gives you his, steps on how to not be distracted, how to be basically a better person in general.
Okay. So my next question is, what failure taught you the most?
mm, First of all, I don't feel like okay, your definition of failure, yes. But the definition of failure, I don't think I ever failed in general in Jesus' name because even when it looks like it's bad, it's all good because it has definitely taught me what looks like failure is not failure. That's huge.
Mhm.
It's huge because once you think that, because I told you the dude I knew, he was like one of my best friends. I just knew that he wasn't gonna steal my money. So when he did, when he took everything, I was just like, whoa, 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 what's going on? I don't get it. I don't get it. So that felt like a failure. It felt like, why did you trust him? What's going on? Like, why did you have your money out? So when I tell you, when it looks like failure, it's not failure. So just hang on because I don't care. I don't care what it looks like. It's all gonna get better.
Okay. Two more questions. What is one thing you think the black community needs to improve on?
Um, the black community is amazing. But definitely being financially stable in more ways than one is more of like a get your money and keep your money. Like put it towards things that are going to generate like generational wealth. And I know that's a word thrown out all the time, but literal like make your money make money. That's huge. And stop investing into people who don't care about you. Like what is I'm not gonna throw any big names out there, but what are they doing for you? And why are you getting it? So make sure you put your money into making sure your kids are good or making sure, whatever is good and get a henna because that's really good for your mental health. So yeah.
And
That's it.
the last question is just what's one piece of advice you give somebody? It could be about anything.
Put God first. And I know a lot of people, I don't know, religious and stuff, but I do know that when I put God first, that's when everything changed. When I wake, I mean, it's literally when I wake up in the morning, the way I go is literally whatever path God you have for me is the path that I need to be on. Even if I don't want to go over there, make me go over there. So just trust God, just keep walking, have positive intentions, do right by people because it's all come back around. And don't do right by people just because you know that right will come back to you, but just do right by people just because. Don't assume that like, oh, if I do this, I'm gonna get something back. No, do it from the kindness of your heart. Be nice to the people and relax. Take some time, go to sleep, take a nap.
Uh, I ain't even mad. Now, what I do want to do is I just want to thank you for coming on. Because,
Of
like I
course.
say, yeah, people ain't got to do this, and it really mean a lot, and I appreciate y'all for just coming on, sharing y'all story and y'all journey. And, I like to just, I like to follow people that come on the show, so I'll be following you, seeing what
Yeah.
you're doing and what you're getting to.
Yeah.
And just do me one last favor: plug in all your social media and all that stuff. Like, I know you said you got a studio too, so you can plug that in. I got
Mhm.
people that listen in Houston, and you mobile too, so it really don't matter. Like, just plug in all your
Right.
stuff, all your
Okay.
contact
And
information.
I should be doing a tour soon too. So, um, Houston Mobile Henna on everything. It's literally Houston Mobile Henna on Instagram, Twitter. Actually, I think it's HTX Mobile Henna because you had to, throw it in the letters.
Yeah.
On Facebook, on Google, on Pinterest, you can see some of my work. You can see it everywhere. Just Google the name, baby. It's gonna be everywhere. Look up in the sky. It's probably on a blimp. Put it on a billboard. I mean, not yet, but it's gonna be there. Like
Hey, you speaking it into existence. I don't think people
it's
realize how
it's on
powerful
the
that is too.
commercials. You know the name.
Hey, sure. Nowadays, all you need is your social media anyway, so it don't even matter.
Okay.
And if y'all don't know, y'all will know who she is. Trust me and believe me. Because I ain't know it. No, I definitely know after seeing all the stuff she out here
That's
doing.
right.
So, but once again, thank you. I appreciate you. Everybody tuning in. If y'all like this, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends. And once again, we thank you, Malyah.
You are so welcome, and I'm gonna definitely be watching.
I appreciate you.